Episode 3657, Another One Bites the Dust.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you ready for an extraordinary weekend? Because it's Friday, and that means, yes, it's confession day. Come on. We all have problems sometimes with our children, regardless of their ages. And you know what? Sometimes you have to use a little bit of humor. Another one bites the dust. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. You know, what happens when your child makes a bad decision and you're left picking up the pieces? Whether it's from the situation itself, maybe there's consequences if like it was a car accident and you got to fix the car. Maybe it's even a medical situation. Maybe your kids are young and it's just simply, oh, well, you know, my child hit another child, or, you know, when they were little. Do you remember the biting? Oh, it was always the worst thing ever. When I had my day school, I was like, why do we have to get into the biting thing? They all go through it. It's all a stage. Some of them just move out of it a little bit faster. But seriously, right? You're left picking up the pieces. But just because your child makes a bad choice does not mean you're a terrible parent. Another one just bites the dust. And as parents, you know, we all want the best for our children. We do. However, despite our heroic efforts, they may sometimes make decisions that leave us feeling helpless and worried. And I don't know about you, but you know, when you're facing a situation with your child and you know the child has made a bad decision, it's important to remember that while we have influence, we can't control their every move. Now, I know, like, you know, we really want to think that we can, but in reality, we don't, no matter how we look at it. All we can do is take what's in front of us and deal with the situation accordingly to the severity or lack thereof. Right? I mean, you could have a situation that's just a little bit of a, oh, he's not sharing type of a thing, to, oh, I was drinking and driving. That's a totally different conversation. And I know different age groups too, but that's a spectrum of parenting. And then you've got everything in between. What have you experienced with your children recently? Regardless of their ages. Did you handle it with ease and little frustration? Well, I have to kind of laugh about that question because it's like, are you crazy? Yeah, nothing is simple when it comes to children. It's not, but it can be if you operate from the facts, not the feelings. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Operate from facts, not feelings. But, and it's a big one, we know what's involved in that because we're parents. And the first thing we want to do is what? Protect our children. We do. But sometimes protecting them and teaching them, one trumps the other. Sometimes we have to teach them instead of protecting them. Now, you can still protect them, right? But sometimes the consequences are out of your hands. Or sometimes you, as a parent, has to deal with those consequences because of rules and regulations that you don't have control over. And I'm sure you can come up with about 20 different things immediately that come to mind. Oh, I remember. Oh, I remember. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, that. Yes. I wish I could not remember that situation, right? But we have to operate from facts, not feelings. And I think a lot of times as parents, we get emotionally triggered because they are our children. And we think it's our job to protect them. And yes, it is, but it's also our job to teach them, to train them, so that when they are old enough and they go out and impact the world that they touch, that they are a productive citizen of wherever they decide to live, whether it's here in the U.S., whether it's overseas. And in order to do that and allow yourself some sanity too, in the midst of the chaotic life of parenting, you got to operate from facts, not feelings. So what does that look like in real life? Because I know you want to have that personal peace and that sanity, but you also want to continue to influence your child in a positive manner. So what does it look like? Well, number one, nip it in the bud. While it's important to be understanding and supportive, which we need to be, it's also crucial to establish boundaries and consequences for our children's actions. And by setting clear expectations and enforcing reasonable consequences, notice I use the word reasonable, that are age appropriate, another important fact, you can help your child understand the impact of their decisions and learn from their mistakes. If you're dealing with a child right now that can't really write, okay, so they can't write a letter and say, I am sorry for my actions and write out their feelings, but they can draw, right? So you can take that and use that as a way to express, hey, I'm sorry that I did this to you. And that could be a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. Now, the 1-year-old can't draw it, but they can color it. And you can say, we don't do this. Now, they're not really going to fully understand it, but when it comes up the next time and the next time, and as they grow in age to 2 to 3 years old to 4 years old, it's going to have an impact because now what's happening is you're establishing those boundaries. But you got to nip it in the bud. There's not this floating around of like, well, I guess it's kind of okay. Is it? I don't think so. When is it okay to hurt somebody? Now, no, watch out how you answer that. It's not okay to hurt somebody. It doesn't matter the age. Okay, now, yes, that's my opinion. You have your opinion. But here's the deal. The older they get, if you don't nip it in the bud at the beginning, if you don't extinguish and get rid of those actions and find a way to say, nope, this is not how we do it, what's going to happen as they grow older? Oh, it's okay. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And the consequences, they're not always great. And they get worse. And so therefore you're dealing with situations that are to the other extreme that you were hoping like, oh, couldn't they be just at that stage of biting and they forget about it and go away? Yeah. So nip it in the bud. Number 2, facilitate opportunities for consistency. This is where you got to be looking for, yes, consistency is key in parenting, but you got to look for those opportunities and say, okay, how can I be consistent here? These are the values I want to instill in my child. How do I do that? What are the boundaries that I need to set in regards to what? Their age, right? It's going to change as they grow older. Even when your kids grow up and they are now officially adults, guess what? If they're living with you, they still need to respect you. You still have boundaries and you still can set them. Now, maybe you don't have a curfew with them and saying, well, I know you're 18, 19, 24, whatever it is. Could be 35 nowadays. 47, whatever. If they're living with you, it's okay to say, you know what? I love that you're here with me, but I'm not going to sit here and say that you have to be home by midnight. But would you give me the courtesy and the respect to let me know if you're going to stay out late or if you're going to sleep over somewhere? Just send me a text. So when I wake up in the middle of the night and you're not home because I'm wandering the house wondering where the heck you are, please give me that respect so I know that you're safe. There's nothing wrong with asking for that, okay? It's your house, all right? Especially if they're living there and they're not paying you rent or groceries and all of that. But we'll leave that one for another episode. We could be here forever on that one. But seriously, we've got to understand the opportunities for consistency and look for them. Because if not, we're going to miss them. And when you're consistent in your expectations, your rules, the boundaries that you set, and your consequences, meaning that you're actually going to say something that you mean you're going to follow through, then you can provide your child with this sense of stability and structure and security. And I don't care the age of any of our babies. They all need stability, structure, and security. They do. And so if you can do that by nipping it in the bud, facilitating those opportunities for consistency, and then on top of it, number 3, encourage positive reinforcement. Oh yeah, there's going to be some positivity here, most definitely. You've got to focus on highlighting and praising your child's positive behaviors and decisions. When they do something right, say, high five, that was awesome. Because then you're not always taking it to the negative, because believe it or not, kids act out for what? Attention. And they even do it the older they get. And if they've been doing it since they were little and it gets older and older and older, the problem is it gets worse and worse and worse. Their actions, they might go as far as trying to hurt themselves. and the way they hurt themselves gets worse, right? I mean, this is real life here. We don't want to talk about it, but if we don't talk about it, we can't impact our children and influence them in the manner that they need to be influenced by us. That's our job, our responsibility as a parent. And when you can recognize and reward your child's good choices, their positive, excellent decisions, saying, yeah, right on. That's what we do. That helps build their self-esteem, and it reinforces positive behavior, not the negative kind. We don't always want to have to get after them because they're always doing something negative. So get after them when they're positive, right? That positive reinforcement. I mean, no matter how you look at it, parenting takes work. It does. It's exhausting one moment and exhilarating another moment. So you get to choose how you approach raising your kids. You can be a lazy parent and let them rule the roost, and good luck as they grow older. That's all I got to say. Or you can be an informed parent, make good decisions based on what you know. I'm not saying you're going to be perfect. I'm not saying you're not going to make mistakes. I'm not saying that you're not going to say things that you might be like, oh, I wish I would have said it this way. We're all human. I'm human. You make mistakes, but you're doing the best that you can. And if you're always operating from facts and not feelings, number one, that's going to help you. But you're also operating from the influence of what? They're your kiddo, and you want what's best for them. You don't want to be this, tyrant of a leader that says, you have to do absolutely everything that I say. For example, if you tell your child, don't you dare say no to me. Okay, there's a difference of saying no and back talking. But a child has every right to say no. Don't you dare take their voice from them. Now, that doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but they have a right to say no, thank you. I don't want to do that. Because if not, what's going to happen if they're put into a position and you're teaching them, oh, you need to be, you don't have a say in this. If I say it, you have to do it. And what if somebody tells them something to do and it's not good for them? Just let your mind wander. I'm not even going to give you ideas because you're perfectly capable of thinking of those ideas. That's scary as all get out, isn't it? I don't ever want you to have to be there. Our children need a voice. They have a voice. But at the same time, they also need to be encouraged with positive reinforcement. They need to have those boundaries. They need to have consistency. And yeah, that still means they'll say no to you. But that doesn't mean you back down. You stand up for what is right for them in the long run by creating the boundaries, by saying, look, we can have a lot of fun, but you can't go further than this because you're going to get hurt. Mom, dad knows best. Grandma, papa, whoever it is, right? Auntie, uncle. And here's one thing I want you to remember, because I know, been there, done that. You begin to question, did I do the right thing? Number one, I believe you're doing your best to your ability. Now, if you were really struggling emotionally, if you have anger issues and you know this deep down, get help. Seriously. Get help and ask somebody and say, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know why I go from 0 to 10 with my frustration and anger. I need help. There is no bigger and better way to be an awesome parent than to say, I need help. Okay? But not everybody has those issues. But if you do, get help. Because here's the thing. If you do have those issues and you're getting help, that's going to make you a better parent. And not only that, it's going to make you a better spouse, a better friend, a better son or daughter, right? A better aunt or uncle, whatever it is, whatever your title is that you wear, because you're willing to make the changes needed. And then I really want you to believe in yourself and your abilities. You're doing the best that you can. And if you come from a family who honestly you question your upbringing, go get help. Seek, some professional help, a therapist, someone that you can trust outside of your family if you're questioning your family. Seriously. I'm giving you that permission because there's a lot of people who think that, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is how I was raised. Not always the case. Sometimes we are misled by our parents. I want you to do what's best for your child. And so if that means you need some assistance, then get it. There's nothing wrong with that. And then from that point on, after you get it, then practice it and practice it and practice it. And let me say this too. If you make a mistake as a parent, own it. Own the error, especially with your kiddos. Own the error. And then don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. I promise you, you got this. And more importantly, God's got you. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed weekend. Hey, and enjoy some March Madness games. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.